What's going on, people? So, I made a couple orders from Adidas the other day, and therefore I'm not sure exactly what's in this box or that box. I know what the two shoes are, between the two, obviously, but what we open up right here today, not quite sure just yet. So, we're going to find out. But let's go ahead. Looks like they've got that same brush type styling on the side, which is good. Makes it a lot easier to open these things. More or less. There we go. Yeah, so didn't quite open how I thought it would, but it's all the same. I'm in the box, right? So, let's see what we got here. What do you know? An Adidas box. Shocker of the century. So, there we go. Let's see, there's that side of the box for you, so that way you can see what it is in this box. And now I get to find out. Yeah, nice. The Uncaged DNA 5.0. Didn't read that in the right order, but you know what I'm saying. Let's go ahead and open these things up. You see, here's the thing. A while ago, right, I made one of my little Instagram rants, because I tend to do that, talking about the Ultraboost Uncaged, and now they happen to have some, so who would I be to not buy a pair and see how they work out, right? You can't go off running around talking about how much I like them and want them to bring them back and then not buy a pair, because that just wouldn't make sense now, would it? So here we go. I happen to see these. How did I find out about these? I don't know. I think it was just on the website and they were like, Uncaged. And I was like, oh, really? So here we are. Because I didn't see any news about them coming around or anything like that. But I also don't really follow the news a whole lot. And when it comes to shoe things, I tend to just not. You know what I mean? It helps with saving on the purchasing. So there's that. But looking over these, let's see, everything as far as blemishes or whatever, I don't seem to see any, which is good. But we'll see if any pop up as I do this actual review or whatever. So, but for now, it looks like things are okay. So, it is review time on this right here, ladies and gentlemen, the Adidas Ultraboost Uncaged 5.0 DNA. In some kind of gray and other form of gray color. All right, let's go ahead and talk about these things, shall we? I'm going to start with the bottom. Right down there, you have that. This is basically the standard outsole that you've seen on pretty much every other Ultraboost for the longest time. Got that Continental rubber to give you that durability and all that good stuff, and then you got that boost peeking out behind it. And in case that's not enough for you, up here on the midsole, you got a whole visible of it. So there you go, big chunky white boost. There's that. Now this doesn't seem to be as thick as some of the other Ultraboost models like the 19s or the 20s or whatever, but it seems to be pretty much in line with the last Uncaged that I remember anyway. But there's that for you. So we're just going to move on. Now to the upper, right? So get you a little zoomed in picture there for the front of the toe box type area. So you've got a little bit of a different sort of stitching pattern than I'm used to seeing. It has elements of various other Ultraboost models kind of in there, just all mixed in together. So there's that for you. I'm not sure how exactly to describe it, so I'm not going to, and I'm just going to let the pictures do the work. And so then moving up just a little bit, you've got all a different stitching pattern as well, where the laces are. So there's that for you. And now we're going to just bring things down just a little bit to where these three stripes are. Those, it's kind of sort of like a plastic piece that's stitched onto there. It's kind of weird in a way. Super flexible and all that good stuff, so that's cool. It's just weird to me. But it's not a problem. Again, it's just a little awkward. And then moving to the back, right above like where the heel cups are, the knit area that you can see anyway. Once again, slightly different stitching pattern. Kind of reminds me a bit of the, was it the 3s or the 4s? But like that had a very squared off sort of look to them. I can't remember. And then moving around to the back, nothing too crazy back there. It's just the same thing that you saw mostly on the upper heelish, ankleish area. So there's that. But while we are back there, we will talk real quick about the sock liner. So I don't forget, sock liner / tongue area. It's looking like it's going to be really soft to wear, really cushiony. You got the extra pads on the inside and on the back. So you shouldn't have any issues with things like rubbing against your ankles or whatever. But I'll figure that out in a little bit when I actually wear them. But just for now, know that this here, with whatever this dark gray color is, it's looking pretty all right to me. But let's jump back over to the front real quick and finish off this upper. So again, I kind of touched on the lacing area, but not so much the laces themselves. They're just your standard laces, nothing too crazy about it, just gray, flat laces, and that's pretty much it. And then you move up a little bit and you've got this here very, very plush feeling tongue section with the Adidas logo at the top, as it always is. And this, in a way, and I can't think of a very clear picture of it, so I might be off, but the way this tongue looks, it almost reminds me of that little patch thing they put on those sixes that came out not too long ago. You know which pair I'm talking about? Coffee was showing those off the other day, so maybe that's why they're in my head. But anyways, this looks significantly better though, because those look like booty. But anyways, past that, I think we've covered everything there is to talk about the shoe on the outside. So we're going to go into the inside. Down there, you've got the insole, right? So this time around, it just says primeblue, made with Parley ocean plastic. So I'm not sure what the percentage is and all that good stuff, but just know that part of this shoe will have been made with plastic from the ocean. So if you buy a pair, you're helping the world, and then you can put that on your good deeds that you've done list. All right, cool. So real quick, personal thoughts before we jump into the sizing and all that stuff. I like these. It's not my preferred color. I'm going to say that right off the top. I like the color, don't get me wrong. It's just I wanted to see what they were all about, so I just bought them now. But if I was a little more patient, I would have waited for a color that I liked more. That's not to say anything bad about the design, just, personal preference, right? That aside, though, they don't look bad at all. It's just, I would have liked something a little more vibrant because I like colorful things. But I do like, in a way, like the little mix of stitching that they did on here. It's just kind of a nice touch. When you look at it and you see the different styles from past Ultraboost and whatnot all around here, pretty cool. But that's enough about that. So let's see what these things are feeling like, because new stuff sometimes fits a little different. Gotta find out. Okay, now I'm back, got these things tried on, and now I'm ready to tell you what I think. So right off the top, these are feeling pretty comfortable. I gotta say I have no real complaints about those. There are some comparisons that I'll make to some other shoes, right? So for one, I will say that they don't feel as good overall as the previous Uncaged, but that's just kind of comes down to part of the styling and whatnot, which I'll get into after these videos and stuff. Just know that I have a preference for myself. And then past that, as far as just walking around in them, it's your standard Ultraboost, so it's nothing that you probably haven't experienced before, and you probably aren't going to see anything new with it. Again, you can look at it and you can tell that they're designed after the 3s and the 4s, things like that. So whatever you got out of those, you're going to get a very comparable feeling with these. I will say though that I thought that these felt a little bit more comfortable than the standard 4.0, because I did that quick comparison as well. So there you go. They sit somewhere between the Uncaged and the 4.0s. As far as the upper goes, upper feels really good. This somewhat looser stitching that they used on here, maybe it's not as heavy on the prime blue, so they do have a better feeling in the upper than the 20s, so that is a huge plus. So I like that about them as well. Now, as far as the sizing goes though, I went with the standard 9.5 because that's just what I wear in Adidas and pretty much everything, honestly. So these fit exactly how I expected them to fit, which is a good thing, because when you buy something, you don't want to have to second guess if it's going to fit or not. But I will still say that even though this is what works out for me, I always suggest trying something out for yourself, or if at the very least getting a second opinion. You can head on over to McFly KOF's channel. He has a good number of Ultraboosts as well, and you can see what his thoughts are. But past that, I think we're good on the sizing and all the comfort and all that good stuff, because I just feel that we're good on that. So we're going to do this comparison that I was talking about. Now let me sit this thing down here. So first off, like I was saying, with the Ultraboost, the Uncaged here, you do have a little bit of similarity down there on the toe box, where you have that fairly open stitching, a little wider on the holes or whatever. But the thing that got me about these, I think I just prefer this here sock liner area more than this. And something in the hole just around where the cage would be. Overall, these just felt more comfortable. I can't quite put my finger on why, I just know that they did. if you want more, I don't know, you can ask some specific questions and maybe I can give you some more specific answers. But it comes down to like this or this, and I'm picking this, right? And then over here, again, I tried these on as well. This is the Bread 4.0 or whatever you want to call it. These did feel more comfortable than these here 4s. I'm not sure what that was, but the upper just felt better. It really just did. So there's that. The comfort as far as walking in them though, like on the ground, under here, the midsole, that was pretty much all very much the same. So when everything else is the same, that's the one difference you have. So that's the one thing that's going to make you lean one way or the other. Personal opinion, of course. So in that regard, I would say these. And then as far as this goes, obviously there's going to be more boost here, thickers, all that good stuff. So you're going to have a different type of feel wearing these. But the upper of these, to me, is definitely inferior to the Uncaged. So then it becomes a matter of like which one means more to you. Personally, this one is the one I'm going with, period. But you'll have to make that decision for yourself. Unless you just want to do what I do, but you should live your own life. That's my suggestion. But again, do you. So anyways, there we go. I think I've covered everything there was to cover about these, so I'm going to wrap this video up. Therefore, from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm going to knock out this one last review in this box here, and then I guess do some on feats and maybe some editing, maybe not. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure when I care to get these videos out, but I'll figure that out. All right, later people.